Manchester United have just drawn 2-2 against Bournemouth away from home. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm just going to get straight to the point. That was an absolutely disgraceful performance. Terrible, awful. We didn't deserve to even get a point in that game. Bournemouth should have had 4 or 5 goals in the first half. The penalty we got wasn't a penalty. I don't remember us creating any opportunities. I'm honestly getting to the point now where I'm just like lost for words with this team. It's so frustrating to watch. It's not entertaining. We're not even getting results. Like, it's bad enough if you're not entertained from football, right? We all watch football to be entertained. It's an entertainment thing, isn't it? Football. It's something you're supposed to enjoy. There is no enjoyment in watching Manchester United at the moment. There hasn't been for a long time, to be fair, but at the moment it's particularly bad. And I think these players have down tools, to be honest. They don't look like they're together. They look like they're all all over the place. And I've just seen a stat pop up on my Twitter. Manchester United have only won 1 out of the last 7 games in the Premier League. 1 in 7. That's the kind of form that gets you relegated. I'm sorry. That is absolutely... it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I honestly don't know what to think now. Like, my stance remains the same, though. I said this 3 months ago, 4 months ago. 90% of these players need to leave this football club. Okay, they've got so many managers sacked in the past, and it's the same cycle that just repeats over and over and over again. We need to clear out this team. You know, you go through that team who started today. Maguire, to be fair to him, like he's not the worst player out there. I still would sell him, but I think he's actually done all right in the last couple of games. But when you go through the rest of that team, I mean, Wan-Bissaka, he clearly doesn't want to be here anymore. Marcus Rashford, absolute disgrace. I'm sorry. How on earth did Marcus Rashford play for 90 minutes today? He shouldn't have even been in the starting lineup. And I just don't understand. Why is Erik ten Hag picking him, and why is he keeping him on the pitch? Is there some clause in Marcus Rashford's contract? It's the only thing which can make me understand this, because he doesn't seem to be droppable. You know, you've got Amad Diallo sat on the bench. You've got Mason Mount, who Erik ten Hag spent £55 million on, getting like 10, 15 minutes in the second half, and that's it. You've got Marcus Rashford there, who literally offered nothing in the whole match. Nothing at all. Oh, sorry, everyone. Yeah, I mean, you know, you look at... it's just so difficult. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Sadiq says, I'm still Erik ten Hag in. Most of the players need to go. Yeah, I would say this, right? 90% of this team needs to go. 90%. And that's probably being kind. You go through the from the start to finish, right? I'll do it really, really quickly. Why not? Lindelof needs to go. Maguire needs to go. Malacia has disappeared. He may as well go. Varane needs to go. Luke Shaw's injury prone. He can go. Wan-Bissaka needs to go. Johnny Evans is 36. He needs to go. You go to the midfield. Amrabat's going to go. Bruno Fernandes, question mark. Eriksen needs to go. Casemiro needs to go. McTominay needs to go. Martial needs to go. Rashford needs to go. I mean, there's probably only about 5 players that I'd keep, genuinely, in the whole squad. And some of them are still question marks. Those 5 players would probably be Garnacho, Højlund, Kobe Mainoo, Martinez, and Bruno Fernandes. That's probably it, genuinely. I would genuinely get rid of every single one of those players. But the issue is, right, it is so much more easy for Ineos to get rid of Erik ten Hag and then hope that another manager will come in and these players will start playing for them again, because that's what these players do, okay? That's what they do. They drop heads, they get managers sacked, and then next thing you know, a new manager comes in, they're all happy again, they're all playing football again, and it's so easy to see. And we just need to stop falling for it, don't we? I think if we're to lose against Coventry on next weekend in the FA Cup, I reckon Erik ten Hag will be sacked, to be honest, because I don't see how we can continue with this. I don't. I want Erik ten Hag to stay. I would love nothing more than Ineos to come out and say we're keeping Erik ten Hag and we're going to, sell a load of players in the summer. That would literally make me so happy. But it's not going to happen, because Marcus Rashford, he's the poster boy of Man United. He's from the youth academy. They're not going to get rid of him. He's a marketing asset. He's got all these followers. He does his charity work. He feeds he helps feed the children. He does all of these things that off the field make him this incredible brand. But on the field, he's rubbish. He's not worth 350k a week. Let that sink in for a minute, right? Marcus Rashford, that performance he put in today, at the end of this week, he will pick up a paycheck for 350 grand. Casemiro, absolutely awful. Again, will pick up 350 grand a week in wages. It just shows how much of a joke we are as a club, that we reward players who are either in their 30s and are past their best and nobody else wants, like Casemiro, or we reward people like Marcus Rashford, who, let's be honest, has one season where he does well every 3 years, and the other two, he's absolutely terrible, has a terrible attitude. Yes, he supposedly has off-the-field issues going on, which obviously I have sympathy with. You know, everybody's human. But still, he's paid to play football. If you start performing badly in your work for a year, right, you're not matching your targets, you're not... you're missing training, you're missing work, you're going out getting drunk the night before. Your work's going to remove you, aren't they? Like, it's as simple as that. And footballers live in this cloud where they can effectively get away with whatever they want. And I just think that other teams, other clubs are more cutthroat with it. And Man United just simply aren't. We care too much about the brand. We care too much about our social media following. We care too much about interactions, about selling shirts. Like, that is the priority. We're no longer a football club, and we just have to realise that. I kind of accepted this about a year ago, that we are no longer Manchester United Football Club. We are Manchester United, the brand. Our brand is built on selling shirts, is built on bringing in players to make more money. And that's all that happens. But let's see what people are saying in the chat. Let's have a look at what everyone's thinking. Shane says, it's the players. I'm Eric Ten Hag in. Mate, 100%. I agree with you. How can you not look at that performance and blame the players? How can you not blame them? It's of course it's their fault. Fred says this must get sorted quickly. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. It has to get sorted. And I just think that, you know, if you really home in on that stat that I read out a couple of minutes ago, that Man United have only won one game in the last 7 in the Premier League. That's not acceptable, I'm sorry. I know we've had a few draws in that period, but, you know, we are now 7th. We're below Newcastle. We're currently going to be playing Europa Conference League. And I would rather not have any European competition than play in the Conference League. I think the Conference League is, frankly, an embarrassment for a club of Manchester United's size. Yes, you play in the competition you deserve to play in. So, you know, I shouldn't be sat here saying, oh, we're too good to play in the Conference League. We're not too good to play in the Conference League. We probably wouldn't even win it. I'm just saying, as a Man United fan, I don't want to have to spend my Thursday nights watching Man United play some team I've never heard of and probably getting beaten anyway. Like, we're not a good team at the moment. I don't know. I honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys, watching that game, I can't see how Eric Ten Hag can stay in the club for much longer. Like, Ineos looking at this, like, the simplest option is to get rid of him. I don't want that to happen. But if you were Ineos and you're looking at this, what other option is there, really? Because you can't sell 90% of the players. It is not possible. It simply isn't possible. I know, like, you know, I know Arsenal got rid of maybe 6 or 7 players when Arteta came in, and you know, Man City did the same. But it's a slow process. It will take years to get rid of these players. And the fact that, you know, Maguire is our best player at the moment, realistically, like, he is, and people will laugh at me for saying this, but Maguire actually puts in performances. In the Liverpool game, he did well. Like, there's nobody else in our team who's really doing anything at the moment whatsoever. Garnacho seems to have disappeared. Rashford's disappeared. Bruno works hard and gives 150%, but he's not the Bruno of old. Rasmus Højlund, like, I like Rasmus. I think he could be a good player, but his talent is wasted at Manchester United. He's not going to develop into this striker that we all know he will become. He won't. He's probably going to be here for a couple of years and will just disappear, realistically, and we'll bring in somebody in their 30s like a Cavani or someone like a Ronaldo, you know, like one of those big name type signings, and he'll just be pushed to the bench because he doesn't get any opportunities. He works hard. He's frustrated. You know, his hold up play is good. He's trying everything he possibly can, but he just doesn't get the ball. And it's really, really frustrating. Sadiq says we've got to win the FA Cup. I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm worried about us playing Coventry. I have a feeling we're going to lose to Coventry. I genuinely think that. Can you, honestly, after watching that game today, right? Do you honestly think we're going to go and beat Coventry? Honestly, do you? We haven't won a game in the Premier League for 7 matches. I don't think we're going to beat Coventry. I mean, I'm just looking. Coventry are in really bad form, to be fair. They've lost the last 3 games in a row, but still, I still think we could easily lose to Coventry next week. And I honestly would not be surprised at all in the slightest. They beat Wolves. Wolves are a better team than us, and they beat them in the last round. So, yeah, I've not really got much faith for that. But, yeah, I don't really know where we go from here, to be honest. I think, realistically, Eric Ten Hag probably will be sacked. Whether that's today or not, I don't know. Maybe that draw gave him a little bit more time, but I think Eric Ten Hag is probably inevitably going to be sacked. Like, it can't continue like this. And the easiest option for Ineos is to remove the manager, give the players a second chance again, and we'll be sat here having this exactly the same conversation in 2 years, and the cycle will repeat. over and over and over again. It's a depressing thought, it really is, but we are where we are. You have to hope that the cycle gets broken. You have to hope that Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Dave Brailsford and Omar Barada and Dan Ashworth and all of these people we're bringing in can see this cycle and break it. But I'm not confident they will, personally. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll be back tomorrow. Actually, no, I won't be back tomorrow. I'm going to have a day off from it. I'm going to take my mind away from football. I'll be back on Monday. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope you can still try and have a nice evening or a nice